Good morning, everybody. I'm Chris, your MLB manager here at OccupyFantasy.com, here with a look at the slates on FanDuel, DraftKings, and Yahoo for Thursday, April 14th tonight in MLB DFS. Have a little bit of an interesting situation here. Happens from time to time. We have an 8-game slate on FanDuel that locks at 6:35 p.m. Eastern, and a 6-game slate on DraftKings that locks the normal time around 7:05 p.m. Eastern. So we have to attack these things slightly differently. Maybe, depending on what our model is telling us today. Now, as always, we like to start by looking at which pitchers we want to start in our lineups in MLB on each slate. And our model, I've pulled up our pitcher tab here, is a big fan on really either the DraftKings main slate or the FanDuel main slate of Luis Severino with the New York Yankees. Now, Severino is a slight favorite, minus 132 money line right now against a really tough Toronto Blue Jays lineup. We don't rank the Blue Jays lineup very particularly highly tonight. Looking at our stacks dashboard, the Blue Jays are in the middle of the pack. Severino's a decent play in high risk, but he may be a complete avoid in low risk contests tonight, given the potency of that Blue Jays lineup in general that we're all aware of. Severino also coming off a little bit of a spring training injury, only got around 65 pitches last time out, could still be a little limited here. Has strikeout upside. You see he has the highest strikeout per innings pitch projection in our model at 1.7 strikeouts per inning. But as I mentioned, there could be some injury stuff here. So Severino might be someone to look to avoid in low risk contests, especially tonight. I like Walker Buehler and Shohei Ohtani more than Severino personally tonight. Buehler a big home favorite with the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight against the Reds. Respectable 1.03 strikeout per inning pitched projection in our model. That's right in line with what he averaged through all of 2021, basically. So really good projection there for Walker Buehler. Shohei Ohtani has elite strikeout stuff. He's especially effective against right-handed hitters. He's not as strong against left-handed hitters. So that's something to keep in mind with Ohtani tonight, pitching against the Rangers down in Texas, in a park that has played slightly favorable to pitching actually over the last year plus. So could be an interesting spot for Ohtani, who is fairly cheap this evening. On the FanDuel main slate, Sandy Alcantara might be an interesting option for the Miami Marlins. He's facing a Phillies lineup that's obviously pretty potent with guys like Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber in there, but we don't think Alcantara is that bad of a gamble this evening. We have Philadelphia in the bottom half of our model for an offense on FanDuel, so Alcantara, another option to mix in over on the FanDuel side of things. That makes sense. So we go over DraftKings. I'm going to start with, as I mentioned, Buehler and Ohtani. Those are the guys I think are the strongest plays tonight to get into your lineups. Leaves you with 40-50 per player remaining here on DraftKings. Our top stack, no surprise tonight. We like the game in Colorado, the Cubs and the Rockies. We like the Cubs slightly more than the Rockies right now here early in the morning. It's the underdog side of the game. They have a 5-run implied team total, which is more than respectable. This game has the highest total overall at 11 runs for the Cubs and the Rockies tonight. And there's bad pitchers on both sides of this matchup. So Kyle Freeland for the Rockies gave up elite contact to both lefties and righties through all of 2021. An elite WOBA conceded to both hitters from both sides of the plate. Justin Steele on the mound for the Cubs. He was poor against right-handed hitters, but actually extremely effective against left-handed hitters. So keep that in mind when you build your lineups with these guys this evening. Let's plug in a Cubs stack. I'm going to go through our model and show you our favorite Cubs to roster this evening. We like Seiya Suzuki leading off the model anyway. We project him to hit 5th. Frank Schwindel, Patrick Wisdom, Michael Hermosillo, and catcher Wilson Contreras, the best for the Cubs this evening. So let's go and plug those guys in. Schwindel, Wisdom at third base. Wilson Contreras will be our catcher, and Hermosillo at outfield. Leaves us with 3,200 per player remaining here on DraftKings. More than enough to polish off this lineup with a decent secondary stack, either a full 3-man stack from another team or a nice 2-1 or even a 1-1-1, something like that. Already plugged in the lineup here on FanDuel for you. I'm going to go with Walker Buehler as the top arm and our 4 favorite Cubs. 3,100 per player remaining over on FanDuel. More than enough to build an effective lineup remaining using the Cubs this evening. Now we also, as I mentioned, like the Rockies. They are the favorite in that matchup. The Atlanta Braves, looking at our stack dashboard here, 3rd highest on the slate for a stack. Highest power expectation, but much lower on the WOBA side of things and team total side of things. That's because they're facing Joe Musgrove from the San Diego Padres, one of the better pitchers on the slate in a vacuum. So that matchup is a little tighter in terms of the projection. Slight money line underdog the Braves are against Musgrove. Morton pitching for the Braves, getting a decent number as well, would be another interesting high-risk pitcher option. Last thing on both the Cubs and the Rockies, they're facing a left-handed pitcher, both of them. The Cubs that were most effective hitting against lefties in 2021, you're looking at Frank Schwindel, you're looking at Patrick Wisdom, Michael Hermosillo, Wilson Contreras, and actually Nick Madrigal also had a pretty high WOBA against lefties. On the Colorado side, look to Brendan Rodgers, Chris Bryant, Connor Joe, CJ Cron, Elias Diaz, and even Garrett Hampson for some hitters that were effective in their splits against left-handed pitching last season. Keep an eye out for the daily plug, which we will post at OccupyFantasy.com by 5:30 p.m. Eastern. That will give you all the final picks our model has for FanDuel and DraftKings based off of the confirmed lineups that we get for the slates this evening. Appreciate you guys watching as usual. Consider joining our Discord. A link to do so is below the video, and we will talk to you soon for more MLB DFS slates.